This is CBN NewsWatch.
It is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, President Joe Biden heading to Europe on his first overseas trip, but critics warn his foreign policies are projecting an image of weakness, which could be dangerous for America and its allies, including Israel. Here at home, new talks begin over the president's infrastructure bill. Amid concerns, his $6 trillion budget proposal could lead to an exploding national debt. It is the invisible enemy, the threat from cyber attacks, computer assaults that could come against our food supply, transportation, and even more. And remembering Eilat Muzar, known as the Queen of Jerusalem Archeologist. She discovered some of the most significant finds in the city, and some of them brought the Bible to life. All those stories and more are ahead in today's edition of CBN NewsWatch. I want to begin this half hour with President Joe Biden set to leave for his first overseas trip, trying to assure allies and meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. But critics say the Biden administration's policies are projecting the perception of weakness to America's enemies, something they believe is very dangerous, and they worry his policies are hurting allies like Israel. Adil Hurd is on this story.
Joe Biden entered the White House set to ride a post-COVID economic boom and correct what Democrats considered Donald Trump's reckless foreign policy. 4 months later, Biden has been dubbed the master of disaster, taking America back to the dark days of Jimmy Carter. High gasoline prices and inflation have returned at home. But critics say far more dangerous is the perception among our enemies abroad that America is weak again. As Joe Biden makes good on his promise to roll back Donald Trump's foreign policy, it certainly doesn't feel as if it has made America or the world safer. North Korea greeted the new administration in March by firing missiles into the Sea of Japan. The White House response was basically don't do that again. That same month, China mocked and humiliated the U.S. delegation at a summit held on U.S. soil. The White House has reopened talks with Tehran over the Iran nuclear deal, which some experts say will increase the chances of a future war between Iran and Israel. And it resumed hundreds of millions of dollars in U.S. aid to the Palestinians, 1 month before Hamas fired rockets into Israel.
And every one of those rockets might as well have Joe Biden's name written on the side of it, because it is his weakness, his appeasement, his moral relativism and ambiguity, his lack of backbone to stand up and stand with Israel that is causing this war in the Middle East.
It's not a coincidence, I don't believe, that all of a sudden Hamas attacks Israel, because they realize the United States is going to be weak and probably try and undermine what Israel's trying to do to defend itself.
Frank Gaffney was an undersecretary of defense in the Reagan administration, which had to rebuild America's foreign policy after the disastrous Jimmy Carter era.
I would describe Joe Biden's foreign policy as basically Barack Obama's on steroids. I mean, think about this. A little over 100 days ago, Israel was in a totally different position than it is now. And that's 100% because of the Biden foreign policy mistakes.
Biden is also allowing the completion of Russia's Nord Stream pipeline while canceling America's Keystone pipeline. But the biggest fallout from White House policy is right on our southern border and record numbers of illegal immigrants. A new poll shows academics approve of Biden's foreign policy. But old hands like Gaffney say they've seen these kinds of policies in action before, and it doesn't end well. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Israel's parliament speaker has scheduled a vote for Sunday on a new government, a vote that would end Benjamin Netanyahu's 12 years as prime minister, the longest in the country's history. Now, if the vote succeeds, the new government will be sworn in Sunday as well. The fragile coalition consists of 8 parties across the Israeli spectrum. Religious conservative Naftali Bennett will take over as prime minister for 2 years, followed by his coalition partner Yair Lapid, a key member of the secular left. But some analysts question whether the coalition can hold together over time. Back here at home, President Joe Biden has ended talks with Republicans on his massive infrastructure bill, which originally had a $2.3 trillion price tag. Now, a bipartisan group of senators is going to start new talks on the measure. That bill is part of the president's enormous $6 trillion budget plan, which includes a deficit of nearly $2 trillion. But the plan quickly faced pushback. Here's CBN White House correspondent Eric Phillips.
According to the president's budget proposal, that $1.8 trillion deficit will exist even with his proposed tax increases on businesses and the wealthy. Administration officials saying to see the benefit of this budget, one can't be short-sighted. You have to look long-term. The president's $6 trillion proposal is aimed squarely at the middle class, with generous tax credits for families, subsidies for children and seniors, plus free community college.
The best way to grow our economy is from the bottom up and the middle out.
Two-thirds of the proposal consumed by these main pillars, $2.3 trillion for Biden's American Jobs Plan, which focuses on the nation's crumbling physical infrastructure, job creation, and more, and the $1.8 trillion American Families Plan, which the administration deems as social infrastructure. The president wants to pay for it by raising taxes on businesses and the wealthy.
I don't have anything against anybody in Wall Street. I don't have anything against anybody making $1 million, but Wall Street did not build this country. The middle class built this country.
Even with those tax increases, the country would be $1.8 trillion in the red if the proposal passes as is. Administration officials insist a number of factors, including the tax increases, will work together over the long term to actually lower the deficit.
It's a terrible budget.
Economist Stephen Moore calls the proposal fiscally irresponsible.
One of the reasons this is such an unwise budget and so harmful to America's economic future is if that we were to pass a $6 trillion budget, we would see inflation continue to rage out of control and much higher than it is today.
There's also a social issue sticking point for conservatives. The budget fails to reenact the Hyde Amendment, a long-standing provision which prohibits federal money from being used for abortions.
For these 45 years, there's been agreement that maybe you support abortion, but you don't support the idea that someone should be forced to pay for it. That's been the common ground. That has been jettisoned by this administration and the proposed budget that this president has put forward.
One other aspect of the budget that's grabbing attention, military spending increases by less than 2%, something that's sure to get pushback. Of course, the budget process has a long way to go before it's approved. The White House is expecting to make concessions. At the White House, Eric Phillips, CBN News.
Coming up, the invisible threat to America, cyber attacks on our fuel, our food, and transportation. Colonial Pipeline thought it was ready, then a ransomware attack shut them down. Now a call to action for businesses and the government to be prepared for future attacks. We'll have the story for you when we come back.
Are you suffering from feeling tired or worn out during the day? Can you not turn off your brain at night? You are not alone. Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce, the Sleep Doctor, and I've partnered with the Christian Broadcasting Network, and we're going to bring you some unbelievable information that you can use tonight to get a better night's rest.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to cbn.com to get your free copy of Protect Your Sleep today.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living, Tuesday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Superbook fans, here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Your news channel. Your shows. The stories you care about. Anytime you want. Anywhere you want. Download the CBN News app today.
Welcome back. We are learning what went wrong after a ransomware attack completely shut down a major fuel pipeline. If you live on the East Coast, you likely felt the direct impact last month, either by waiting in gas lines or seeing higher prices after the cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline. The company's CEO told senators Tuesday how to better protect critical infrastructure in the future. Here's CBN's national security correspondent, Caitlin Burke.
Those behind the operation of the Colonial Pipeline thought their systems were secure. Then, Russian hackers shut them down.
We felt comfortably historically that we're where we felt we needed to be to protect our assets. This threat grows every day. The sophistication of this threat grows every day.
During this Senate hearing, Colonial Pipeline CEO Joseph Blunt told lawmakers that private companies and the government need to work together to prevent against future attacks.
I think if we look at the number of incidents that are taking place today throughout the world, let alone here in America, it's private industry alone can't do everything, can't solve the problem totally by themselves. So it's the partnership between private and government is very important to fight this ongoing slaughter of cyber attacks around the world.
With such an ever-evolving threat, lawmakers acknowledge the U.S. can't keep playing defense.
We need to start imagining what can happen and respond accordingly, as opposed to always be looking at what the last problem was.
The Justice Department showed the fruit of its more aggressive approach in dealing with ransomware attacks, revealing it recovered some of the ransom Colonial paid in order to get their systems back online.
This represents the swift whole-of-government response represented in the work of this task force and our determination to go after the entire ransomware criminal ecosystem used by these types of criminal networks and their affiliates, which are targeting and going after, including in disruptive ways, our critical infrastructure.
The DOJ's major warning: no one is immune.
Pay attention now. Invest resources now. Failure to do so could be the difference between being secure now or a victim later.
Given the international component, the Biden administration is considering these attacks a national security priority and calling on other countries to monitor their cryptocurrency transactions. The president is also expected to discuss the issue with Russian President Putin next week in Geneva. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Still ahead, actor Martin Sheen helps to bring a best-selling book to the big screen, and he's here to share the miracle story of the 12 mighty orphans when we come back.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN NewsWatch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh, no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls, man. Come with...
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
This next story takes us back to the time of the Great Depression and to some inspiring real-life events you may have yet to hear about. We will begin with a man who gives up a position of privilege to coach football at a Texas orphanage, and then his ragtag team finds itself in the spotlight, delivering hope to the city, the state, and the entire country. Actor Martin Sheen helps to bring this true story and best-selling book to the big screen. And he makes a stop in Studio 5 to share 12 Mighty Orphans with us.
Harvey Newell Russell. I'm the new math science teacher.
The football coach?
That's right.
Would you call this a miracle story?
They'll never make it on the outside.
For me, every day is a miracle story if you live through it and you're looking forward to the next one.
The way I see it, you can either work the field or play the field. Hell, sounds good to me. I'm in.
Of course, it's a miracle story. It's about service to each other. It's about the old adage, when we serve others first, we serve ourselves best.
Ready, set, play!
This is going to be even more work than you imagine.
It's about the miracle of creating community and looking out for each other and not worried about yourself.
Today we're going up against a team that's won 2 state championships.
Stay down in the dirt where you belong, loser orphan.
That's a funny formation. It's your new offense, line up a quarter yard directly behind AP for the snap.
What position does that make me, Coach?
We'll call you the quarterback. This is how we're going to beat the bigger teams. We don't have the size, so we got to utilize what we do have, speed.
We finally got a team.
What was it about this story and your character that made you say, yes, I've got to be a part of this?
Oh, well, you know, the moment I finished reading the script, I said yes without hesitation. I didn't know that it was a true story.
Every second that they're on the field, we're losing money.
I was intrigued by the period of the Great Depression. The Depression has always intrigued me for some reason, but the character of Doc himself really penetrated the best part of me. He had he'd lost his wife in childbirth and never remarried, so he was just this endearing character.
When are you going to stand up for these children and do what's right? Juanita, we have a chance to make a real difference here.
They're going to want you to win. Everybody's going to be behind a team with nothing, just like them.
Am I correct that you guys had real-life orphans involved in this?
Yeah, very much so. They invited us to use the facilities, both interior and exterior. So they let us film on the grounds where all the practice of the football took place. And inside, we filmed inside. And there were children who were, members of this community. And they were, I think we were a nuisance to them, but they were very welcoming. And they were very curious about what we were up to. They'd never seen a movie set before, and now they're part of it. The last scene where we were all gathered on the front steps, that is the orphanage, the facade of the orphanage. And all those children, together with the cast and crew, are members of that community and the staff of that orphanage. Yeah.
It's hard to believe when all you've known is hurt and loss. I look at you boys, and I can honestly say I'm proud to be an orphan. And you'll feel the same way if you can believe in yourselves and believe in each other.
How timely is this film and its message
for what we're seeing in our world right now?
Well, I think that we have, we're always looking for a way to unite the will of the Spirit with the work of the flesh. And whenever we're able to do that, we become whole. And I think that was tried during the pandemic in a very, very specific way on all of us. No one was going to get out of this. And the only way we could get through it was together. And so that image of trying to unite the will of the Spirit with the work of the flesh was a great sense of community to me.
12 Mighty Orphans is in theaters this weekend. We're sharing more from Martin Sheen and the film in this evening's edition of Studio 5. Singer Todd Dulaney is also with us to preview his new album, and we'll get a preview of an intimate documentary on the life of Anthony Bourdain. You can catch Studio 5 this evening at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and you can find that on the CBN News Channel. Coming up, remembering the Queen of Jerusalem archaeologist, Eilat Muzar, who died unexpectedly recently. We're going to take a look back at some of her discoveries, and some of them brought the Bible to life. We've got the story for you when we come back. Stay with us.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Nigerian Christians in Iran are routinely arrested.
Happily, Christians continue to suffer.
In times of trial and affliction, you need to know the truth.
One of the fastest growing Christian populations in the world.
Join Wendy Griffith and George Thomas for Christian World News.
Young people are the ones who are open to the gospel.
Powerful stories of suffering and hope that affect all Christians. Saturday night at 6 on the CBN News Channel. Get Protect Your Sleep and discover how to improve the quality of your life. A free DVD or booklet from the Christian Broadcasting Network.
If you're not a great sleeper, you can do things to make yourself a great sleeper. If you're already a pretty good sleeper, you can enhance your sleep and be even better.
5 leading experts help remove the obstacles between you and restorative sleep.
When you don't get a restful night's sleep, you wake up with an accumulation of stress.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to CBN.com to get your free DVD or booklet today.
Everything you do better with a good night's sleep.
You'll discover how food affects your sleep, how to put insomnia to rest, explore effective remedies for sleep apnea, and much more in Protect Your Sleep. Wake up to your best life and get Protect Your Sleep today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to CBN.com to get your free DVD or booklet. Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today.
Family, friends, and colleagues mourn the recent passing of one of Jerusalem's most well-known and beloved archaeologists, Eilat Muzar. She was called by some the Queen of Jerusalem archaeologist. She discovered some of the most significant finds in the city, and some of them brought the Bible to life. CBN News interviewed Muzar a number of times throughout the years. Here's a collection of some of the stories that she helped to contribute to Israel.
Eilat Muzar was a third-generation archaeologist. Muzar's grandfather, Benjamin, oversaw the first excavation after the 1967 Six-Day War that reunited Jerusalem.
My grandfather excavated 10 continuous years without stopping. This was a fantastic project. Almost no parallel in dimensions. Hundreds of people worked. They revealed fantastic remains of ancient Jerusalem from all periods.
At 10 years old, Muzar felt like part of her family came home when she first heard that Israel recaptured the old city.
Even as a child, I could sense that this is a huge event. It's like you get something back. People related to it like returning a lost son. That's what we were expecting for. Now it's happening.
She made some of Israel's greatest finds. While digging in the city of David, Mazar believes she discovered King David's palace.
Its monumentality is obvious. Everybody can see. Also, its date, constructed sometime around 1000 BC, the time of King David in general, based on the pottery that we found underneath and within. These facts brought us to understand that we've got fantastic monumental construction.
Mazar also uncovered the site called the Ophel, just below Jerusalem's Temple Mount, restored it, and told her story in the book, Discovering the Solomonic Wall in Jerusalem. Perhaps Mazar's greatest find brought the Bible to life.
From the biblical times, finding the seal impression from King Hezekiah himself, this is unparalleled, unheard of, to come as close as you can imagine to a biblical figure, not to mention such a king as King Hezekiah. So to find his seal impression, it's almost touching him.
For Mazar, it was the discovery of a lifetime.
Astonished. This was, I think, this was most amazed find for me personally, ever.
While many archaeologists dismiss the Bible, Mazar maintained it to be an important historical source.
The biblical stories and the New Testament story, by the way, it goes together because they just prove quite accurately the development of Jerusalem, and the way Jerusalem is described is quite accurate. And I'm amazed to see repeatedly that archaeological evidence goes so beautifully along with the biblical story. It just repeatedly showing us that so much of the biblical narratives are accurate. Simply as that, accurate.
Since a child, Jerusalem and its treasures captured her heart.
I come in the morning and go to sleep with Jerusalem. I mean, excavating Jerusalem, it's 100% on my mind. Besides my family, I mean, you know, we are very family people.
Former ambassador to the U.S. Michael Oren called Mazar a hero.
She has fought for Israel's future by fighting for its past, and against the face of a lot of naysayers, and particularly people in the world today who deny a historical connection between Israel and the city of Jerusalem, people who deny there ever was a King David or a King Hezekiah or a prophet Isaiah. Eilat digs down and she finds it and she proves them all wrong.
Archaeology is not just about revealing the past. Archaeology is about securing our present. Archaeology is about ensuring our future. Archaeology is about richness, and as Eilat Mazar will tell you, it's about truth.
And time now for your Wednesday word. Today's word is peace. Be careful to protect your peace. It is valuable, and the price of losing it is too high of a price to pay. God gives us peace for a purpose, and it is a peace the world is not able to give. Again, don't lose sight of its value. With that word, I encourage you to make today a wonderful Wednesday. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN News Watch. I want to remind you, you can always find more of our programs on the CBN News Channel. You can find them there at any time. You can also find them online at cbnnews.com. We would love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us at the address on your screen, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.